And we welcome you back here to the Big Time Sports Podcast Show. It's Mitch Spinell and Mitchell Balla here now with a special guest on the show. He is now the newly appointed head coach of Canton McKinley's boys basketball program and is Sean Weatherspoon here on the Big Time Sports Podcast Show. Coach, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Hey, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. I mean, we're now going into a new season where you get to return home to your alma mater, coach. Obviously, you were a part of the state championship boys basketball team from 2005. You get to return after a season in Alliance, a couple of seasons over at Maple Heights. And now you get to rejoin a program that is still kind of building itself up from last season. When you look at this team, coach, what do you think are the similarities to these guys that you're taking over compared to some of the guys that you were able to play with the Bulldogs back in the mid 2000s?
I know. I think definitely the athleticism. The way they play the game as far as how to play hard. Getting up and down, defensive pressure, things like that. But Canton McKinley basketball is playing hard defensively, getting up and down the floor. Rebounding at a high level. And that's why I'm gonna try to definitely get back. How I play with my teams, and that's what I want to have on my coaching staff.
Coach, first off, congratulations on, coming back home to a place that you played at and had a very successful athletic career. What have you been able to take since you were an assistant on staff in McKinley and then at Maple Heights as a head coach for a few years, and then this past season at Alliance that you think is really going to help you now build this program back up to where you'd like to see it?
I think the biggest thing is just patience. When I first got the Maple job, I wanted to turn it over, overnight. I wanted to, make it a powerhouse, to say overnight. But I know, having experience now working at Maple Heights and also working here in the Lions for a year, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for kids to adjust in my system, to adjust the way how I coach and things of that nature. So the biggest thing is just patience, man. Just preaching that, not only to my players but to my staff, in the community as well.
Well, coach, you come back from a season with the Aviators where you guys were able to do some very good things. You got a share of the EBC title among your other successes. I mean, when this whole process with the McKinley job came to be, was there a thought process for you in obviously there was a thought process for you in taking the job, but coming off of just one season with your guys at Alliance, a team which you seem to really embrace and really have a good time with, how difficult was it to make that decision in terms of taking another job away from Alliance?
I mean, definitely a tough decision. I definitely had a couple sleepless nights. Definitely went back and forth on things. I had a great year over here, man, in Alliance, man. The kids were great. My staff was great. The community was great. It was probably the toughest decision I had in my coaching career thus far. But I'm a true believer in God. I'm a true believer, you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. And I think right now, the time is right now for me to be at McKinley.
Coach, you mentioned, patience. It's hard to do it overnight. Like you said, you wanted to do at Maple Heights. Looking at this past season at McKinley, there was something uncharacteristic that we saw in Federal League basketball. Typically, the field house at McKinley is one of, if not the hardest road venue for teams in the Federal League to come into and play at. This year, though, a few Federal League teams came on the road to McKinley and beat McKinley handedly. How do you go about restoring the tradition and just the entire atmosphere of the field house for what it was like when you were there as a player?
Well, first and foremost, it starts with, hard work in the off season, getting these players developed, getting these players to buy into, the McKinley basketball way, what I am accustomed to, and what, the fans are accustomed to as well, but also, winning cures everything, so hopefully, we put things together this summer, build upon that, and then, into the fall, preseason, things like that, and then, come out. It's some excitement, right now. People are excited about me getting the job. The community's there. But again, like I said, I just want to preach patience. It's going to take some time to get it back to where we know it should be and where we know it can be. But when we do it, hopefully, it can be back, that atmosphere in the field house can be back to how it used to be.
Well, Coach, we were going over some research before the show. We caught one of our tidbits here was obviously your days as a player was under then McKinley head coach Dave Hoover. Were there any particular aspects of the way he was able to coach you and your teammates that you have kind of really compartmentalized into the way you coach your guys over the years of experience that you've had?
Definitely, what I take from Coach Hoover is the preparation side of the game. He had our teams prepared, from top to bottom. We knew our opponent, in and out, whether it was their offensive sets, their defensive strategies, the player weaknesses, the player strengths, what they like to do out of timeouts, all those type of things that you have to prepare for. On the scout report side, I definitely, take that and put that into my coaching style. And I definitely I feel like it's been working for me so far.
Coach, usually something that makes a coach so great for his players is how not only they get their players to buy in and really have successful athletic careers, but how a coach can also set their players up for success once their playing days are over, because playing days end eventually for everybody.
Right.
You were somebody that had a very successful career at McKinley, went on to play collegiate basketball, and obviously your career ended a little bit sooner than you would have liked with an injury. How do you go about taking the experiences you've had and helping your student athletes now, whether it's going to be playing college basketball once they're done at McKinley, or whether once they play their final game at McKinley and go into the real world, whether it's college or work right away? How do you take your experiences and kind of help them and show the players what is after basketball?
Yeah, definitely. I'll just try to preach, the importance of academics. Like you said, the basketball stops at some time, and you have to have something to turn to. Academics is very important to me. I don't take that lightly. Student athlete, you're a student first before you can be an athlete, and that's what I preach to my players. And also, man, not taking a day for granted. Also trying to get better each and every day. So you can put yourself in a position where you can go to college and get your college paid for by that from the game of basketball. So just preaching, not taking anything for granted, and also the importance of academics.
Coach, we ask this frequently to a number of other coaches in our area, new and veteran. We always kind of ask them the same thing. It's like, what can we expect from your players this year? But I also want to kind of go into, what do you think we can expect from you and your coaching staff this season, the way you guys present yourselves, as well as the way you guys teach your players into being not only the best possible players, but the best possible teammates?
I mean, the first thing about myself and my staff is I'm going to have high character. We're going to carry ourselves with class. We're going to represent Canton McKinley and the city of Canton, to the utmost. And that is going to be a replica from what our players are going to do as well. We're going to respect the game. We're going to be very prepared. We're going to be very intense, because, we want to turn this thing around. We want people to get back in those seats in the field house. We want, the city to continue to support us. I'm gonna have a very passionate staff, a very dedicated staff, to this game plan to get Canton McKinley back to where we know it's supposed to be.
Coach, so does that, assuming you have your staff, picked out already, are there a couple pieces you're still looking to put together, or is everything kind of finalized for what you're going to go with into the summer as the head coach of the McKinley Bulldogs program?
It's still some pieces I'm working out. Just getting the job officially on Monday. This week has been pretty busy. As far as different interviews and obligations, things like that. But I'm very excited about getting my staff finalized. I'll be seeing the players today at Open Gym. Very excited about that as well. So it's like I said, it's getting finalized now. But we're gonna have some good people on my staff.
And then finally, Coach, my last question for you is, obviously you played in the Federal League. Since you played and where it is now, a few teams have left. And when you played, a few new teams have entered. Is it too early to kind of take away in looking forward to just how valuable and how meaningful every Federal League game is? Or, are you excited at the task knowing that there's never an off night in the Federal League now that you're back coaching at McKinley?
Definitely excited. Definitely excited for the challenge, man. The Federal League is a great league, man. Great coaches, great players. Like I said, the physicality, the toughness you got to play to win in that league on a nightly basis is what I signed up for, and what I want to do. And I'm very excited about the challenge, man. And I'm very, eager to get my guys prepared, to take on those teams.
Well, Coach, we do appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and we wish you the best of luck for the upcoming season. Hopefully, many seasons more at your alma mater.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on.
Thank you, Coach.